It's good. It's uh it's nice having, my buddy Ron on here. So we get to do some learning. So can't really complain. How
I
about
know.
you?
Well, it's going to be a good time. I've been looking forward to it. But yeah, I've had a decent day. Not too Monday-ish. I've actually been a bit more productive than I usually am today, which is surprising.
It's good.
I just got done building a quick little HTML tool that so pretty much we reward people for retweeting our tweets, send them 30 was a pop. You got to prove it. But it gets really tedious because they got to send in their wallet address into a Discord channel. So I just got done building a tool where a lawyer can just go in and click someone's name and it automatically formats it into brackets and puts account
hmm
address. There's just send a list.
It's nice. Yeah, it's like I don't know what I would call it, but like I have a mapping of a lot of addresses to people, right? And I would do the same thing in Telegram. So, part of it is if you want to tip somebody, well, you need to know their address, but it's more than just like knowing their actual visible username. You need to know their ID because you could spoof a username just like in Discord. And so I have to keep like a balance in there because I want to show the username because nobody's going to remember their digits, right? I do because I use it all the time, but realistically, it's the same reason we use websites instead of IP addresses.
Of
It's,
course.
yeah, so, hmm, so
Yep.
that's fun.
100%. So, well, do you just want to go ahead and just dive right into it?
Yeah, you can, you want to share your screen since we'll be doing your stuff? Hey, Hazen.
We can do that, or I can just, I think I had even already sent you the code I was working on if you just wanted to pull it up, because all I'm going to be doing is messing around in Chainweaver. That's all I've been doing.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that's fine.
okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do. I'll share it, see what we can do. Let's do entire screen. All right. This is what I want.
Hey, Tori, I'll make sure.
I got the
Well,
infinity mirror now. So, all right. Yeah. Here's what I'm working on. I know you said you had some suggestions for this. All I'm trying to do is, and it might be a little bit over my head, but that's why we're here.
hmm
Um, so I'm trying to make a function that I can call that automatically has these four addresses in it: Easel, Highlander, Dirgeman, Dan, and Exmo. And then the only argument I have to pass to it is an amount because that's the only thing that's going to differ from tournament to tournament is how much I'm sending out to each of them. But they always receive the same amount. And so um, I'm probably going about this the wrong way, but in my head, um, I'm very beginner. So I was thinking um, all I have to do is just define these because these are the things that it needs to know every time. And then I was just wondering if this was the correct way to pass in an amount. And to be honest with you, I had pretty much just copied this from Hello World because in the when you define the function in Hello World, it's defun hello, and then in here you would put uh, I think they had a name or something like that, and so that's
hmm
where I had thrown in these brackets. But I'm not really sure what I'm doing. But so we're gonna work from here.
So, yeah, so I think the first thing is really all right. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, I think, rethink the amount. So the amount. Let's start with the amount. So you're going to send in, let's say it's 100, right?
Right.
You want 100 to go to each of them, or you want to split it up so each get 25?
Not split. It's gonna go to each of them.
Okay, so that's easy, right? So I think we can reformat it. Let me. There's a private chat in here. I'm going to send you an example.
Okay.
coin dot transfer, and then let's do easel. So it's going to be from Ron to so, and then amount. So we can actually simplify this a little bit.
Does there need to be a
Does that
space? Okay. Would two easel be like the name of the constant?
yeah, yeah. And then
Okay.
from Ron is you could, if you're gonna send it from your wallet, you could hard code that in there. If you're gonna send it from another wallet, though, I would not hard code that in there.
Um, what the Ron part?
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna come from that wallet every time because that's the one that's
Okay.
holding the build.
Then you
Um,
should be fine.
so you're saying that down here, I don't even have to have these brackets.
No, I would just get rid of them all.
All right. Boom, and then that can just say amount. Um, okay. All right, we're getting somewhere. I think I'd have to drop one of these. No, it's just the bracket. All right. And so all of these are going to be the same amount because there's just one thing named amount, right?
Yeah, yeah, because it's gonna be the same amount. It's really how you scope your caps now in your function. So you can do coin dot transfer. I don't know that you need it like that. All right, I'm just looking. So I think you have one extra bracket on that last, or one extra closing on that last one. That last coin dot transfer. Oh no, because that's closing your whole module. I see.
Yeah, yeah. What I can do is put
Can you,
that down.
yeah, just put that down lower for me.
There we go.
All right, so we're gonna do a transfer. So that's calling our transfer. So I believe you could do coin dot transfer. I think you could just do all those lowercase. It'll require you to put that cap in there anyways from the coin contract.
So I should just change all these constants to lowercase.
No, no, you can keep those. Keep those as they are. So where it says coin dot transfer, you can make all those lowercase.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And then when you send the function in, you'll use that transfer cap. And I can explain that.
Okay. Because I think I explained this to you earlier too. What we're also going to do is I guess you would call it a guard. We're going to make it so that only I can call this because obviously since my wallet's hard coded in here for the funds to come from, I don't want anybody coming in here being able to just send funds from my wallet, right?
They won't be able to.
Okay.
But yes, you should guard this contract for very obvious reasons.
Okay. So, all right. So, what are we doing next? What do I have to do?
All right, so why don't we do our governance stuff? Let's just get that out of the way. So module, I was just pulling up one of mine. Just there's something with the transfers I want to show you that I made, but let's do our thing first. So you've got namespace free, define key set, ron dash key, read it as ron key. That's fine. And then where it's module Wizza clan payments, after
Uh,
that, where you have your string, change that to gov, capital, just capital GOV.
where it says free.ron key right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay. Does it need to be in quotes?
No, no quotes.
Just GOV.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
And then uh, under, you can either do coin first or under, either before or under. We have to add a def pact or def cap.
Okay. I was gonna put it after the coin.
It doesn't matter. Whatever looks better to you.
All right. Is
There's
that like this?
def cap, and then you're gonna call gov. Yep. And then
Okay.
it's just two brackets, space, two brackets.
Like that?
Sorry, I call them brackets. They're just the circle, just like we've been using. I don't.
Parentheses?
Yeah, parentheses. There you go. And can you put a space between gov and the parentheses?
Of course. And then I
Shoot,
gotta
this is why you don't send out announcements right before you jump on a stream. Everybody's blowing me up now. So, all right, dev cap gov, and then in the closing parentheses, put that on the next line.
put this closing parenthesis on the next line.
Yeah, on the next line. And so we're gonna do this. So enforce guard. Let me just that next line is gonna start with what I'm gonna put in here, and then it'll be uh, Ron dash key.
Okay. That actually kind of
Free
makes sense.
free dot Ron dash key. Let me just make sure I close this properly. 1, 2. All right. So
Okay,
then obviously you'll still have your closing bracket after that. So
so I'll still have my closing bracket. So I'm gonna put this right here.
yep, exactly. So what this is doing is so we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, I know, or this morning. God, I don't remember now. I think it was yesterday. And so when you define your namespace as free, there's nothing wrong with it, but obviously, like if you're on mainnet, it's probably not what you're going to want to do. And so I'll help you deploy your own custom namespace, but
Okay.
for now, the important thing is when you set up your free.ron dash key. It could be your custom namespace dot ron dash key. And then we simplify the read key set to ron key. That actually could be anything. You can just put R in there if you wanted. I wouldn't change it. It's visually it's easier to remember this way for people. But essentially, the most important thing you're doing is defining that key space in the free namespace. Now, if you had your own namespace, you would want to create your keys within that namespace, right? You wouldn't want somebody else being able to put their keys in there. It doesn't make any sense. And so
Right.
when you what the only things you actually have to update are first we have to create your namespace, and then second what we'll need to do is change your define key set, and we only ever have to run that once. That's only one time, and then it can come out. And then where your enforced guard is, instead of free.ron dash key, it's going to be your namespace dot ron dash key. So literally the only thing you're changing in here is the free. The rest actually is all the same. So it's actually pretty simple. You've also got user and then named spaces and stuff too. But that's like the crux of it, or the gist of it is you just once you've got your namespace deployed, you can just reuse it on any of your contracts. And your key set is the only one that should be able to be deployed unless you do like a multi-sig key.
So how do we get from free to like the like n underscore ones? What are those called? Custom
The name,
namespaces?
yeah, custom namespaces.
So how do we do that? Is it as simple as instead of saying namespace free, would I declare something else there?
Yeah, I think you define namespace. Let me get the command.
Yeah, I think
I
it is.
literally just did this too. I think it's define namespace, and then there's a bunch of key sets. All right. So, yep, it was.
Okay.
There you go. It's in the window.
Gotcha. And I would replace the key S, right? The KS.
Yeah, that'll be your key set.
Gotcha. And that would that be just Ron Key? It won't be free anymore?
Correct. You could just do so if you're deploying this all at once, you could just do ron dash key.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We're just keeping it simple. We're just getting the basics out here. This is my first like custom contract where I'm doing my own thing. Like I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy the tutorials much. I'm kind of just trying to get out there and just be like, I wonder if I can do that, and like that will make me like it a lot more. If like I
Yeah,
can think I can do something, and then I can.
that's right.
All right. So let's see what this error says. Cannot resolve ns.create principal namespace.
define namespace ns. Do you have one too many closing brackets on that? Or parentheses? I think you do it. No, that's the right amount. Define
yeah.
namespace. No
Well, yeah.
such key.
This one right here closes NS. Does this one close define? Yeah, it does. They're all closed. Um. Hmm.
I'm just mimicking what you're doing right now.
You want me to send you this code? Oh no, it doesn't matter.
No, because I sent you mine, and that's what I just
Yeah.
copy pasted.
Gotcha.
So make sure you're on testnet. Okay, mainnet. Mainnet.
Yeah, we're on mainnet right now. We're
Yeah.
not messing around.
All right. So NS. Interesting. You may be able to ignore that error, that warning.
Okay.
You may be able to ignore it. I'm not sure. You'd have to almost like do a let to bind it. I'm not sure in a module how you might do that in here because I don't use this for uh, I don't use this for coding. But which wallet do you have?
Um, this one, the wallet that I'm using right now is it's just a dev wallet that I have connected to Chainweaver. I don't access it through
Okay.
anything else.
Okay.
But the funds that this one's going to be coming out of for the contract, those are coming
Hmm.
from I got that one in Echo and Links.
Okay. Let me try it. Let me see if I can do load into REPL. So REPL. So you would want. All right. So in REPL, you would do mv dash. I know I can't show it right now without hijacking your share, but let me just see if this actually works.
Well, I can turn
I
mine
never
off if
use
you want. It doesn't take
data.
long.
All right. So keys. Let me see if I can replicate what you're doing real quick or what I'm doing. Um, I'll share. All right.
Oh, you're sharing.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Screen two.
Let me turn mine off.
Uh, no, I think it's fine. It'll just
Okay. I just kind
minimize
of
it for a
override
second.
mine. Yeah.
All right. So this is one of the contracts I did, and I'll show you how I do my um, payouts. Is I put mine in a table because I don't want to feed it. Anybody can run this payout. So if there's any funds in here, essentially, so let's say you loaded 100 WISA or 100 KDA into your contract, right?
Hmm.
This function simply takes it. It says, okay, pair one is this, pair two is this. So you can do pair three, pair four, and then it splits it. So what you would do is you would do yeah, so 50%. So what you would do is you would do 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. And then let's say you wanted each of them to get 100. You would send 400 to it, right? And then this would just take care of it. It would just distribute the 400. You actually send the funds to this contract, right? And it can only run this against your list of pairs. So it's hard coded, so it's you can't just like go in there and change who you're paying. You can't change the amounts. It's all set in stone. And I think that's what you probably will want, but maybe like a different version of this so that it's you don't need this level, right? But for me, I
Right.
wanted to make it uh, easy. So this is for royalty payouts. So if royalties go to this, I really overdid it, but I wanted to anyways. So if royalties come in, let's say We get 10 KDA in royalties. If there's any balance amount over 0.0, it will let me split that balance and then send it to the two payees in this case. And so
Okay.
it's really doing this. It's really doing the same thing. You are just a lot more logic, and again, not necessary.
Right.
But what I wanted to, like I said, what I wanted people to do is set up a scheduler so that this runs monthly, and then it'll just auto, like it just send a local or a I need to send a mine transaction, but essentially it'll pay out whatever balance is in there automatically. So I don't actually have to go sign this. I actually gave the signing rights to my contract. My contract also holds those funds, if that makes sense. And then I
Right.
have governance and stuff on my contract, so you can't go in and just steal it or change it and steal the funds. But that's essentially what that's doing. And so I just made a couple tables, um, and so you'll see stuff like this when you're installing a capability into a contract. You need to call and scope the cap, which is this. This is not a cap. This is just a function. And
Yes.
so this is what you want. When you send your command, your wallet needs to add these caps then. That's
So
why I don't like this.
am I pretty much like pulling that function like from the coin module?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. Got it.
exactly. And that's why you don't need to install the cap because when you sign the transaction, you'll be adding it yourself anyways.
So I don't
So
even need to add those caps right there?
no, this is just if the contract controls it.
Okay.
Or if
I
you
got
want to do stuff where you have like an escrow where it's an intermediary where you send. So another thing you could do, just like this contract, is you could send your funds to the contract from your wallet, so it's just one cap or one transaction,
Mhm.
and then it takes care of sending out to the other four people or to the four
Right.
people. It's actually a lot easier, but it doesn't matter. Programmatically, it's a little harder. Uh, Implementation for a user though, it's a lot easier because you only have to do you could just literally go into like any wallet and send funds to the contract address and then say, okay, there's funds in there, pay them. And you may be able to stack that all as one transaction too. I don't know. But
Well,
maybe. I don't.
um, well, so the way that I'm doing it, I can do it just so that it comes out of a wallet, right? Because I'm thinking it's
Mm-hmm,
probably safer to have it loaded in rather than it just come out of my wallet, you know?
mm-hmm.
And so it might also be more convenient if instead of me just saying, "Pay these 4 people from my wallet," I could say, "Here's how much money we won today. Just split it up and send it."
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so this makes more sense, I think.
I think for what you're doing, this approach is actually a lot easier for you.
Okay.
Just um and I think there's a we may be able to configure it so when you send, we create a custom function. It should be able to just automatically sweep to them. So once your transaction hits, it installs the cat and transfers to them. So there's never like a time where the funds actually sit there. I think I have an example of that one in another. Yeah, I have it. I do have an example. It's what I use in our NFT contracts. So when you pay us for an NFT, if you do our minting contract, there's a 2% fee or something like that.
Uh-huh,
And when the user sends funds in, they don't know that they're sending to multiple wallets. They just send it to one place, and
uh-huh.
that's my escrow account that then immediately sweeps those funds out. So for you, I think not this function, but a version of it would make your life infinitely easier and still be secure because worst case, somebody hijacks your contract and one time you send a payment and it gets effed up, would suck. But like the chances of you making a mistake are very low when the outputs are always defined, the inputs are always defined, and honestly, anybody could send funds to this and run it if they were stupid enough or wanted to. I don't know
Right.
why you would, but anyways,
Well, so,
we're
I mean, if it's gonna be easier and more convenient for me, then I say let's do it. I think it makes more sense too, because it is smart for number 1, it not to come out of my wallet, number 2, for the funds never just sit there. I think that's pretty smart.
Mhm.
Now, am I gonna have to put a separate contract and have a contract that signs the transaction?
You'll just have one contract.
All right, cool.
And then you'll have one function in that contract that you use to essentially you'll have I'll show you all that. That let's not worry about that so much. Let's get the structure of what you're trying to do accomplished. So I want to see if this works before
Yeah.
we. So this is KS. I'm just going to use this because it's in my command. So this would be keys and then pred. So this would mimic kind of what your environmental data would look like. So this is keys dash all. I need to close this, obviously. All right. So KS 1, 2. So keys needs to close. That needs to close, and then EMV data needs to close. Perfect. All right. So in our REPL, we set this. So we're gonna run that command I sent you now,
Okay.
which was in here, just as I sent it to you. So this should work. I might have to call the NS contract. Okay, so I gotta have to load. Can I load it like that? How do you load it on here? Do I? Yeah, I'm not sure. Can I just use NS?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
cool.
can't I resolve it?
Oh,
But like NS dot. Let's see. It's
maybe it's named something else.
could be. Of course, NS is gonna be like
Now, is that
at
contract
the
on all teams, or does it
at
matter?
the at the end. No. So it is. It's NS.
Create principal namespace.
I'm wondering if yeah, let's try this. So we try to go. Oh, that loaded this. There we go. So we have to load. So I pulled up this. It's been so long since I've used Chainweaver, but I pulled up this contract, and I remembered for whatever reason, if you load, you can load a contract into REPL into scope
Yeah,
like that, and now I can run commands. So that's essentially what you're gonna have to do. What I would recommend you do is what I just did, so you could get this value.
it's behind of our pictures right now. I'll see if I can hide those.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Can I make a bunch of spaces? Look at that.
Okay,
So,
namespace defined. Okay, cool.
so what you're gonna need is you're gonna have to do this first, and then put your key in there instead of mine. So let me give you that command.
I see.
And then you already have that other command, but what we'll do is we'll load, you have to go find the NS module and load it in for yourself.
Okay. All right. Let me pull my screen back up.
Let's go back to sharing yours. I don't think I need to show anything else.
Okay. It should be already sharing. All right, there we go. Here's Chainweaver. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna go into the REPL, and I'm gonna paste this. But first, in here, I need to put my keys. Okay, so I need to go over to environment. Can I just copy this? Is that the whole thing right there, or is that what I'm looking for right there?
No. Go to on the far left side where you're. Yeah, go up to keys. You want
This.
that value.
Gotcha. Well, that's convenient. All right,
I
so
suppose it is. I suppose it is in there. Maybe I don't know if you can do that, but I would just do what I did just to be safe.
okay. I need to paste that. I need to come back and grab something because it disappeared. And then to save myself a headache here, I'm going
Yeah,
to,
just do it in there.
yeah, get rid of this if you can, please. Thank you. And then I'll copy all of this. God damn it. All right, let's throw this in. Copy everything from here to the end. Command X to cut that puppy. Then, was it right here? Yeah. Do I need to replace KS at the beginning?
No, you can leave chaos.
Okay, cool. And then,
That's just defining the name of your key set. So if you take my command as I had it after this,
uh-huh.
you like you had run dash key. Chaos is the same thing. It's just an
Okay.
identifier in JSON to say I'm looking for the KS value.
All right. Well, we're
So
gonna
yeah,
go run KS.
that's fine.
Or
Is it
yeah, cool.
run dash key?
Okay, but yeah,
There you
same
go.
thing. And then I'm gonna come to the end and press enter.
Yeah, you just hit enter.
Okay. And here we go. All right. So
Perfect.
boom. All right. Now I'm gonna come to the module explorer. I'm gonna look up NS.
And it'll probably be the last one on the list. Yeah, any of those.
Any of them?
Oh, yeah, any of them should be fine.
I will do chain one just to be safe. View. Come up here.
Open. Yep. It's
Oh
gonna
my
wipe
god.
yours out, so yeah, save it.
It's copied. Open. All right. So now I need to load this into the REPL, right?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
There. Module
Now put
load.
your code back in. Put your code back on the left side, and
Okay.
then grab the define namespace command.
Just the hash.
No, go up to your code and
Oh, this.
do copy
this.
that line. Yep, copy that whole line.
Okay. That should be good. Command
Yep.
C. Then just run this in here.
Yep.
Oh,
Oops.
crap. Well, that's
Copied
not
a
going to
bunch
do it.
more.
Command A. I don't know how that happened. All right, this is pissing me off. Here we go. Boom. REPL. All right, cool. So
So
now
that
do I
should be
take
your
that?
namespace. Yep.
So do I just replace free with that?
Yep.
And here?
Yep.
Boom. All right, cool. So
Can you do me a favor though?
what's up?
Um, before define key set, can you do another uh, parentheses for me?
Just there?
You do a space now. Yeah, do it like a line. Enter. Hit enter, and then go back up and do namespace. It's define your namespace there because you'll need it the next time you run it. So it's just nice to just have it there.
And then just
Um,
add an ending parenthesis.
it will be it'll be the new one you just made.
Oh,
That new
and
namespace, that n underscore.
this
So
thing?
in parentheses, yep, in parentheses, without the round dash key though.
Okay, so this and is it in
Just
quotes?
that.
Parentheses.
Yep, yep. It is in quotes. It's a string.
Okay, cool.
And
Boom.
then close that parentheses.
I think I already did down here.
All right, so take that one and put it, get rid of that one and go put it on that same line.
Up here up top.
Yeah, put that one right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
there's other ways to do it, and I bet you could put that defined namespace in the namespace and bind it to something. However, that it's just not necessary, and it's harder to explain then. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be somebody who will look at this and say, "Oh, you could just do a let or bind it to something." But
Right.
anyways, um, we know, we know, and
Yep.
so all right, so we got a namespace, got that.
Why? All right. So, quick question: why is there three different read key sets inside of the namespace thing?
Yep. So when you do um, principal namespace, let me see if I can. So when you do it's like a admin key set. There's like different things that it uses, and I think one of them is what they base your hash off of, your guard. I'm looking create principal. Let's see if I can find the function real quick. Guards. Where is it? I always have the Pact docs up. Create principal namespace. Create principal. Suppose we have to go into the contract then. So it looks like only W and K.
Hank's sitting in here
So
telling me to smile. Hank, shut up.
smile. All right. So define namespace. Where is it? Okay. So creating the principal namespace is its own thing. So running that command, you pass your key set, and it looks like that's your guard. So that's some type of enforcement. And then define namespace is, I think, let's see, define namespace. So the first, interesting. So create a namespace called namespace. So the first is a user guard, and then the second is an admin guard. Outside of that, create principal namespace. So I create my namespace with my guard. You can put a value in there. So like when I did, where you did create principal namespace, instead of read key set KS, I believe you could just put a string in there. No, it does say you need a guard. So I wonder if you could. Anyways, this is the way I was. This is the way I always done it. As I read it, though, it doesn't make sense because what would
Right.
happen if I did? I'm gonna try it right now. And I don't make these often, so it's not like something you're gonna probably do a lot. But
Right.
I can't even see my code. Minimize. Turn hiding on. All right. So create. I'm almost done. I'll tell you what happens. So this is gonna be victory.
Um.
Okay, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So since we don't control what namespaces are available, we have to use this function to write a new namespace to the table. And
Okay.
so that function, create principal namespace, requires a guard. So that makes sense. I was confused because when you look at the command, the command as it's written is to create an actual namespace. And it
Right.
doesn't necessarily have to be through this command, but this is one way we can do it. So I don't think any of us could run define namespace otherwise, right? Because we can't just create our own namespaces. That's probably a command that only Cadena could run. So they probably have a key set that allows them to do it. I do not. Um, yeah, because we're
So
just defining it.
should I take the define out?
No, that's how it should be. So
Okay.
so everything we did in there is fine. I just when I was looking at the code to see, I couldn't remember the order. So that first read key, the second read key set is your user guard, and then the third is your admin guard. So you could change those. You could do multi-sig, things like that.
Okay.
The create principal namespace, I suppose you could do the same thing for that too. But anyways, I don't think that one matters as much. So everything up to now looks good to me. So you've got your guard, you've got your namespace, you're going to deploy to your namespace, you're using the coin contract, which is fine. Um, you're going to send in, again, let's just say 100 KDA, just a nice even number. Defund pay, we're going to pay each one of them 100. So we're going to put in 100. Each one of them is going to get 100. And then when we go to send our command, we're going to put coin, we're going to have to actually mimic this and create a cap in our transfer send. I don't know if you've ever done that in here, but you'd have to right now create one for all four, which is basically mimicking what you have, but using coin.transfer capital, getting
Okay.
your address, getting their address. So I think I'll show you. So
Let's go to your screen.
yeah, let me show you what I mean. So when you do this, let me share again. There's a lot to it. The problem is I'm trying not to skip around too much because there's just a lot to take in from this. But
Of
when you're
course.
doing a transfer, so let's go to the contract. All right, so transfer is a function, right? So transfer is a function, and then there's a capability called transfer.
That's all
So that's why
caps.
it's caps, and you can have lowercase transfer and uppercase. So I am me, and this is you, and I
Yeah.
want to send you 100K.
Yep.
So then I would go into sign, and I would add a capability. So it would be coin.transfer in quotes me, you, 100. Okay, so it doesn't like commas in there. All right, it would be my key next, and yes, it's because I use fake values. No account can be less than 3, I believe. So basically, this is just saying transfer. So this would be from Ron to one of the 4 payees.
Right.
You wouldn't see it this way because it would just be your function, but you'd have to scope this cap for all 4 of them. So you'd
Okay.
add another. So me's to use,
Okay.
and then from me's to use.
So I would actually go in here and do this part like when signing the function or
Yep,
like okay.
yep. You'd pull all these into scope and
Okay.
then preview. Did I keep me somewhere? Oh, sender. Okay, I wonder if I can grab my key from in here. Anyways, it's gonna fail anyway. So me's to use. All right, so we don't exist. That's okay. That's just an example, right? So that's what I mean when I say the way I do it. You only have to put one of these into scope.
Okay.
It's just easier. And I just assume, are you gonna send it from the normal wallet?
Well, okay, so what I normally do is I'll win like maybe 50 Kadena from a tournament, and
Hmm.
then there's the 4 owners. I'm one of the 5. Um, and so I will just divide the amount of winnings that we have to pay out by 4, and then I just send 4 different transactions out of my Link's wallet, or sometimes from my brother. I just send them straight out. And so what I'm trying to do is like it's really not that big of a problem I'm trying to solve. It's just kind of a headache just sending 4 transactions in a row whenever I have to do it. And I've just been and it really isn't that big of a problem at all. But I was just hoping that with a function, it would be kinda more like click a button and type in the amount that wants to be sent out, you know?
So you could do that. You could
Okay.
do that. You obviously have to host that function somewhere. You have to build something to 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 take it. Like just because the function's out there, right? You still have to run it somewhere.
Right.
So wherever you would run it. I mean, that's easy. That's easy, right? Or we take all that logic, build it into a smart contract, right? And instead of thinking about sending the 4 transactions, because that's how you're breaking it up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're sending one transaction. So in your links wallet, you don't need a function. The function's in your contract. Shit. So you could get around not having a function technically, and you could do what I did and create an escrow, like a escrow/vault,
Okay.
which is fine. And then what you could do from links is you could send that wallet the 40 KDA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it knows, okay, so I got 40 KDA. We could run like the scheduler, right? That's what I do. I just run a scheduler. It checks if there's any funds in there, and if there are, it distributes them. So it just calls the function. So you could do that, or you could have it on your website or inside Link's wallet in like one of their little dApps, and just have that one function, which allows you to connect your wallet, click, do the pay function,
Mm-hmm.
sign it, and then the funds are just distributed. That to me, that sounds like probably what you want. The way I do it doesn't require you to actually use the function directly, but somebody still has to call it at some point. You could have a gas station set up to ping off of it. Yeah, 'cause that should be able to use that for gas. So
So
there's ways, but I think we're probably talking like keep it simple.
yeah, so I think what I ideally want to do is like, all right, say for example, I want to find the owner of a wizard. What I do is I go into the free.wizard contract and I do get stats and then I can just call the ID of the wizard and it gives me the wallet address that owns it. And so, like, obviously, I don't sign that because Chainweaver shows you like a result before even sending that. But what I was ideally thinking was like kind of what you're doing right here. You go into a function on Chainweaver, tell it, okay, here's 50 Kadena, and then it just takes that from the wallet that I sign it from, which would be my main wallet, and would just send it out to 4 people.
Hmm.
And so now, can you run a scheduler like inside of Pact, or is this like okay? That's what I
No,
thought.
no, but that being said, if you wanted to do it, you could. How do I get rid of these? Let's just visually. You could do from me's, which is you, to our transmitter. So what you're going to do is you're going to run a function called pay, like you have. But instead
Mhm.
of paying all of them directly, you're going to pay the contract, which then immediately turns around and sends those funds. It splits them up to
And
your recipients.
would I need a scheduler for that?
No, you would just need to run that function, and it would all be done.
Okay.
And we could do simple, man. We can do real simple logic. You could still specify them all as a def const. You don't need a table. You don't need any of that. If you were going to update it a lot, I would recommend it. But if you're not, then I wouldn't recommend. Just keep it easy if you want. I don't. I try not to do that on any of my contracts, but I just don't like the hash changing on my contract.
Right.
So if you're
Well, so
thinking
I thought about
simple,
this. I
yeah.
thought about adding a table to it, and I think I came to the conclusion that I don't necessarily need one. Right.
No, I don't think you need one.
So, I guess so. What you're saying is that we'll create an account, which would be our transmitter. And hold on, I'm in freaking Infinity Mirror now.
Sorry.
You're all
I
good.
thought it was. I thought it was on your chain weaver. Maybe I was
Yeah,
looking at that.
yeah. No, I was watching you. So So what you're saying is pretty much we would have right here would be from Ron to a transmitter, right? Say this is a an all caps transfer, like what you were just doing.
Yep.
And so we would be creating an account kind of within this contract, and
Mhm.
then from my links, I would just say, okay, I want to send to our transmitter, which is our
Mhm.
buzzword for now. And then as soon as that transmitter sees that it has funds, it will just disperse them to these.
Yep. Well, it doesn't see, it just does it. So you're sending money and it's immediately turning around and installing a transfer cap to send that money right back out. It's all happening all at once. There's no like middleman. Well, it is a middleman. There's no like wait and finish. It's all one atomic transaction. So if anything fails, the whole transaction fails. So ideally, we add some verification in there. Or some enforce statements. We make sure that everything is good, and then we just shoot it right out. So if you want,
Would I have to
I
send the funds to it and then sign the function and then call the function?
it's
Or
all one step.
it would automatically send it out once I sent funds into the transmitter?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, shit.
yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright.
So let's do this. So I can't actually. Uh, I made my bar disappear, and it always comes back annoyingly. There it is. I was like, where did it go? All right, let me see if I can show you. Do you want me to just show you like an example of it?
Just show me what's up, what you got going on. Or you can just walk me through it if you want, but it's gonna be slow.
Like, it's fine. All right. Let me just reserve. Let me just see if this is a good example. Yeah, this is a really good example, actually. All right. I'll share my screen in a second, but let's do this. I guess I should have just left it shared.
Oh, well.
All right. All right. So can you see this, or is it hard to see? I don't know how to make it. Can I make
Um,
it any better? I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, I can read it. I can go full screen too. So I'm not even in full screen. That's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all right. So the amount um, actually is not even a price. The price comes from a lookup, but that being said, so yeah, so the cost is here. So this is way overkill what you need, right? This pulls in pricing from my Oracle and does some math and all that good stuff. But what the end result is the same of what you're trying to do. So you have this payee and you have this payee, right? And you, as the account, are the payer. So Ron is account in this
Yes.
scenario, your account. And this is your first payer and your second payer, right? So, oops,
Oh,
yeah. So this is way more than we need. So this would just be like times 0.25, 25%. Wait, we keep it simple.
okay.
So everybody gets 25%. And then we would do like an enforce to make sure that their accounts are valid and all that stuff. And then what happens is we create this, which is in this case, it's not a one-time account. Sometimes I do them as one-time accounts, sometimes I don't. What this is doing is this runs a function that I have that automatically creates you a principled account, which I call an escrow in this case. It's essentially an escrow.
Okay.
And what happens though is this specific escrow, it I lied. This one is unique every time, I think.
Okay.
I think this one's unique every time. It doesn't matter. I actually have an example I'm going to give you of all of this working because I'm pretty sure I already have code for all this. But essentially, so the first transfer is from you. This is Ron, right? So you notice there's no capability here. It's just a straight transfer. And the fungible is the coin module. So this would be the same as coin.transfer for you. It's just this is what I would do if I wanted to be able to transact in Wizza too, right? I would use fungible instead of hard coding coin because
Yeah.
then I could technically transfer in any fungible. or any module. So this is this is saying, okay, get me my splitter account, which is right here. So it's going to return this. And here's the total amount that Ron is sending. So Ron is sending 40 KDA. And what we would do is we would basically just double this. We'd first, so when I showed you that coin.transfer cap,
Mm-hmm.
we still have to respect capabilities. Even if we send from a contract, you still have to have a capability. It's one of the nice things about Pact, actually. It makes this a little harder, but it's actually really nice. And so this is basically just mimicking what you would do. So this is, if Ron was going to send 4 people funds, he would be the splitter account. And then he would send the
Okay.
creator, which is Easel. I hope I'm not
Yeah.
butchering that, but and then the amount, so 10 KDA, and then this would be whoever is next
I see.
from Ron to. So you're just installing. So the contract is just saying this is basically send funds to my splitter account, and then splitter account immediately turn around in the same transaction, and now let's run coin.transfer, install the capabilities, and now we took in funds and we turned around and swept them right back out. So all we really have to do for you is take this approach and say, instead of this
Wait, so
math,
right there, I'm sorry, right there with the install capability, you're not doing the transfer. You're just installing the capability to do so, and then below it, you're doing the transfer.
yeah, you have to put the capability into scope to be able to
Okay.
perform a transfer. Mhm.
Okay, and that's just like, so do I need to keep? I have used coin. Do I need to keep using that to do that?
Are you only ever going to send KDA?
Yeah, most likely.
Then just
Well,
be,
it, I mean, it's just going to be a change of a word, honestly. So
if you do uh, fungible, you have to, when you
okay,
send the function here, I'll show you. We would change your function. So pay, so run contract.pay, and I'll type it up and send it to you. And instead of the amount, we would also have the module. So for coin, that's it. So that's what we would add. And what we would do is in fungible, we would pass coin, the coin module. For you, we would pass free.wiza for if we were going to transact in that, or any other module. We would just pass the module
right.
name in there, and then you could put obviously the funds for that module in your transaction. So it's flexible. It's very easy to switch. But if you're going to do it, I would just build it that way from the start.
Well, I'm thinking that you could use a completely separate contract if you wanted to do like free Wizard too. And so I'm thinking that. So, are you saying that whenever I call the function, what would you call that? Arguments, like the things that you give a function for it to use, like
Inputs.
inputs. There you go. So, coin would also be an input if I use fungible.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or we specify it as a like in the table or in your contract. We could just specify the coin contract. But again, then you got to change the function. This allows it to be very dynamic.
Okay. So you would recommend to do fungible?
I would recommend anything. If you're only ever going to do KDA, just do coin dot transfer and make it
We'll
easy on
do
yourself. If
KDA. I
the
very rarely ever have to send Wizard out. It's because it's a level 375 wizard that 5 of us share, and so it's in the weekly tournament every week, and he wins
I
Cadena.
see,
Yeah.
I see.
So it's
All
it's
right,
really only ever gonna be Cadena.
okay. Then for now, for ease of explanation, let's just assume it's Kadena. But you can see switching the approach is not that hard.
Not at all, and I'll
Um,
remember that too. That's a good thing to know.
yeah. So for you, you're basically going to need just replacing fungible, right? You're going to need something like this, and what you're going to do is create your def const, and then just put each of their names: creator, bank AC, bank AC. You see what I mean? And then what we'll do is we'll do like amount 1, amount 2, amount 3, amount 4, and then we'll just split them up into 4 amounts. Should be
Right.
pretty easy. Very easy logic. Again, it's not perfect, but we're just talking about, let's say, some very simple contracts. So let's just keep it simple.
Of
Um,
course.
so
Now,
yeah, I don't. Yeah.
is splitter account gonna be the funds that I'm originally sending from that account, or is it gonna be a new account that we're creating?
So splitter will we'll create a brand new principled account when we
Okay,
run
so
that command.
is that a K account?
No, it's a U account.
Okay, so it's like U colon some numbers.
Hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yep. And we can only ever call it into scope when we're doing a transfer. Nothing
Okay.
else. So you can see it creates a guard just like you would. Um, yeah. So it's very simple but very nice logic for creating escrows.
Mhm. For sure. I like your splitter account header up there, your little divider. It's neat. Norm it's a little bit more decorated than I see people's like comments.
Sometimes I'm lazy though. Sometimes I'll just do like stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Um, yeah, I don't want to make my life hard, but that's it. And so when I create my contract, you can see I init runs, which allows me to create this account immediately, which is nice because it doesn't change every time. So when you create your function, you'll know what that account is every time. So again, you could, yeah. So when you hook this up to whatever front end or inside links or whatever you do, and you call pay,
Uh-huh.
um, we'll already know what this account is. So it's gonna be super simple for you. Yeah,
Okay.
this will be easy.
All right. So, a little bit of a side question. Does
Yeah,
init stand for initialize?
yeah.
Every
But
time
it
I
doesn't
see
matter. It doesn't matter. It could be barf. It doesn't matter. I
oh,
I, I
oh,
slept in
you're
that.
making your own function. Okay.
This is my own function. It has no bearing over anything else. And then when I create my contracts, I have to create all my tables, and then I run it the first time, and then you can't run it again. You can only ever run it once.
Every time I'm looking at code and I see that, I think of British people.
Init,
Yeah, and
init,
my
awesome. Init, init something. Init. So are you gonna have you deployed that contract yet? You
has
did,
not been
didn't you?
deployed once. It hasn't been deployed. No, not the pay one.
All right, you want to finish it up and deploy it?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go back to your screen.
Ron, you're welcome to join Wizard Clan whenever you want, but we're not taking any new owners for this current clan build, but we will be making a new one eventually. So, here's my screen. Let's see what we're doing. So, you sent me something right here. Ron's contract dot pay amount coin. That was just you explaining something to me. All right, what are we doing first?
Oh boy. Um, the
This
first
we need to install somewhere. So, um, would you install caps inside of this function or would it be outside of this function?
um, go to the top of the 4 coin dot transfers you have. Or
Right here.
actually, copy all of them. Copy all 4.
All right,
Just
hold
watch
on.
how easy this is.
Okay.
All right, copy all those. Now move them down. Like give space between the defund pay and that. Or it does. I guess it doesn't matter. But now paste them again. Paste all 4, and then change the coin dot transfer to a capital transfer.
Okay. Let me copy this. Here we go. I swear there should be a button, some kind of shortcut that just says capitalize. I've always thought that.
All right, now let's change Ron Sender to uh, anything, something simple like Sendy, Sendy.
Cindy. Okay.
Yeah. So now all of your Ron Senders need to be Sendy.
Okay.
You can leave Ron Sender in there.
And the def con stuff there.
Yeah, you can leave that in there.
Well, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna use it for anything, right?
No, probably not.
Well, we're gonna make it as simple as possible. I'm gonna take them out. I'm just gonna copy this now. I need to stop typing it. Cindy. Wouldn't a sendee technically be a recipient?
Yeah, I said Sendy like NDY,
Yeah. Okay.
and
Okay. Okay.
you added the EE.
Yeah, I
I'm
thought
like,
you were
okay,
saying like a payee.
that's fine.
We're doing Cindy. All right, now I'm taking this Ron Sender out real quick just because we don't need it.
That's fine.
All right, now what do you reckon? Do I gotta install the caps for these?
All right. So before, no, you don't have to do anything. So before all of that, let's add a function before it, which will be, um, so this is where it's going to get fun. So we're going to create a let. Yeah. So we're going to do this. Let, and then, uh,
So
so
it's gonna be inside of this function, right?
yeah, it's still inside of defun pay. I'm just
Okay.
grabbing what we need. All right. So let, so sendy will be a string, and then get dash sendy.
All right, hold on. What are we putting here?
I'm gonna send it to you in a second.
Okay, I
I just
gotcha.
want to make sure it's the syntax is correct. So close, open, closed, closed, closed. All right.
Here we go.
I could have explained that, but man, we'd be here.
Right.
Yep, just replace that. And now, after your last command, close it. So like go all the way to the bottom, basically again, and close
Down
that.
here.
Yeah. Do one more line and kind of line it up so we know. Yeah, there you go. Close it right there. Perfect. All right, that should be correct.
All right, so hold
All right.
on. This is closing the let. No, that's closing that. Where does the let get closed?
You just closed it
Down here. Down
down
here. Okay.
below.
Yeah.
Yep. So you want to wrap anything that Sendy is going to use needs to be wrapped in this let,
Okay.
essentially. Okay. So before, let me see. Okay, so we need to do another, yeah. Sender equals Ron. Yep. All right. So before your first coin dot transfer, we'll need another space.
Before my first coin dot transfer.
Yep.
All right, space.
So then we're going to do another coin dot transfer lowercase.
Okay. Coin dot transfer.
And then it's going to be uh, account.
Account.
So this is where you can decide. We can either use your Ron account and not type this in, or we can add account as a string up where amount decimal is, and then you could pay from another wallet if you ever wanted to, or somebody else could pay this. I prefer it that way, but if you want to hard code it, you can. If it's only ever really going to be you can do that. Um, it's up to you.
It's only ever gonna be me, and um, well, I don't want to be learning like bad practices or anything, but at the same time, we might as well just keep it simple for now because I had in mind I just wanted to send for me because the money always comes from me anyway, right?
Yep.
So yeah, we'll just hard code it like you're saying.
Okay. So coin transfer from Ron.
So do I keep a count here?
You would replace account with your Ron defconst that you got rid of. You just have
Okay,
to
so
add it back.
not Cindy anymore.
Yeah, not Cindy yet. Cindy will be the second value.
Gotcha. Let me grab my wallet real quick. All right. There we go. Oh, this is from me sending to Cindy. Okay, I see.
Correct. Yep,
I,
you got it. So
all
from
right,
Ron,
and then right. Oh, where am I at? Right here.
coin.transfer,
From
yep,
all caps Ron
to Cindy.
to Cindy.
And then it's total dash amount. Eh,
Oh, not dash. No.
it's going to be just amount. Just do amount.
Okay.
It's implied that that's total amount.
Okay.
Cindy to total amount. And then close that
Good call.
parentheses. Okay, so for coin.transfer, do me a favor and do amount 1, amount 2, amount 3, and amount 4. And we need it on both lines or both sections.
So make this one or make this one one.
Starting at the capital, yeah. Do amount 1, amount 2, amount 3, amount 4.
Now, can you explain that because they're all going to be the same amount?
Correct. I will in a second.
Okay. All right. I won't get ahead of you. Amount 4. Here we go.
Okay. So we're gonna do. I'm just. I'll explain this in a second. So let. We're gonna do another let, and this time we are going to specify amount 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So do I
So
do another let down here?
I'll send it to you because this one's. It'll actually be above everything you've done in the
Okay.
pay. It'll be the top, like right underneath that defund pay line will probably be where we put it. Yeah. So this is going to be a let, and this will be all right. So let open, and then amount 1 decimal, and it will be amount. So it'll be times amount 0.25. Yeah, that should work. So then amount 2, and there's a way to make this prettier what I'm about to send you, but I also don't care right now.
Right.
So 4, 3, 2. All right.
Here we go. All right. So, well, actually, wait. I'll just wait.
Yep.
So, is the
Can
let
you
with
put
an
each of those? Yeah, go ahead.
is the let with an asterisk different than the let that's here?
So you're defining multiple items instead of one.
Okay.
All right. So that's, did I do that right? Yeah. So essentially you are basically saying that I want to bind amount 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right.
Okay.
So do each one of those as their own line. So yeah, so amount 1, and then after those two parentheses, create a new line, just so
Like
it's a
that.
little clearer. Yeah. And then after those two,
I hate this. Why is it indenting like that? Because I don't like
I
that.
I know. And then that last one, that yeah, you can just
Um, this one can get it too. Boom.
there
All
you
right.
go.
Now what about the last one?
All right, that last parentheses, can you put on? There you go. Perfect. And actually, can you line it up with that other one?
Is it
All the
not?
indents are all sorts of. No, it's the inner one. So it's not actually closing your whole let. It's the one
It,
before amount 1, right above amount 1.
oh, this one right here. What I
Yeah,
need to do with that?
I just wanted them lined up so it was easier to see.
So should I indent these more?
You could. I don't care. There you go.
I'm gonna have to do the other ones too then, but it'll work.
Yeah, yeah. And so then you can get your parentheses to line up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe. Of course. All right,
Uh,
perfect. Now,
okay. Now I'm putting a space in between here.
yeah. All right, now at the end of this, close it. So after that last parentheses down at the bottom so far, close it. That let. So you're gonna want
Close,
to wrap all this. Yeah,
close this.
like yeah, close our let right there.
Should I put just a double one or just one right here?
It doesn't matter. You could whatever you prefer.
There we go.
All right. So this is saying, can you put a space between amount and the multiplication? That always bugs me. I think it was my yeah. Just put a space in each. Yeah, there we go. All right,
Gotcha.
so we're gonna times each, and it may cause a math issue on this, but for now, let's just assume it's not going to.
Okay.
So 0.25, 0.25, and this is terrible practice, just so you know. We shouldn't be specifying these like this, but let's just make
Okay.
it easy on ourselves. And so you could, for example, you could do like def const and then specify the 0.25 and then just call that def const. But again, that's not the point here. Let's just make this easy. So all right, so we've got a function that says we're going to take in this amount, we're going to split it in these amounts, and we're going to send it to Sendy from Ron, this amount, and then we're going to turn around and distribute all those amounts out to our recipients. Does that fully make sense?
Yeah. Why do we do this one before if we don't even have the funds yet?
So it doesn't matter about the funds necessarily. This is just the logic that you're going to apply to know how much you're supposed to pay each person.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So technically, you could just do one amount. You could just have like summed amount or something, or like broken amount or split amount, and because it's all the same, right? They're all 0.25. You
Mhm.
could do that. However, I find this, and if I'm going to show somebody how this works and I explain it to them, breaking it out is to me a little bit easier. But essentially, each one of these is saying receiver 1 gets amount 1, receiver 2 gets amount 2, receiver 3, so on and so forth. So if you had 100
Yeah.
accounts in here, yeah. And so, all right. So the beauty is you could take all of this and create a very dynamic function down the road too with this logic.
Right.
So the thing we need now is Sendy. So
Okay.
let's create Sendy.
So this is us creating the splitter account before, like you did, right?
Yep. So this is
Okay.
gonna be get Sendy.
We're getting somewhere, guys. We're making traction, making progress.
Acquire Sendy. Sendy. I'm almost done. I'm just gonna type all this up for you. Sendy. Create require sendy, require capability sendy, get sendy, create sendy guard. Okay.
All right.
So I'm just gonna copy this now. All right. Hey, buddy. Lord help me if I typed all that right.
All right.
Did it
So
actually send the whole thing or just part of it?
it has a def cap and a defund.
All right. So all right, hold on. It cut off how much I could send you, I think is what happened.
Okay. So is that the rest of it?
So get sendy account. No. No, I'm almost I just to modify something. Did you do gov or governance at the top of your contract? Do you remember?
Gov. Just GOV.
Okay. There you go.
All right. So am I taking? All right. These are in threes. So I take the first one, and then you have to show me where to copy it, or where to paste it, rather. Yeah.
Under
Command
your
C.
function, under your pay function before the end of your contract,
So after the let's.
outside of that whole function. So go all the way down to the bottom.
All right. Wait, because this one's closing the module. Do I want to be inside the module
Yep,
still?
you have to be inside the module still.
Okay, so I'll come in here.
You paste that stuff. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Another copy. All right, so that should be good. Now he wants me to come in here, I think, and paste that. I think, and then he wants me to come in here and get this. Okay, so we're getting a little bit advanced here. I just want to know why this stuff doesn't line up. Command Z. Oh, not tab. Space. There we go. What about that? All right, it's getting a little bit confusing. I gotta make sure I can see all this right. Def cap, Cindy. Is that lined up? No, that's lined up right there. Yeah, that's the same. Cool. Now, we have a function, which is... That's not it. We need to go back one more. And then I'm going to tab it. I think that's the same thing. Yeah, it should be tabbed. So will this one. And it's in...
I know they all get screwed up.
Yep.
Oh,
There
I
we
did
go.
get sendy twice. You just need one of them. You can get rid of one of those.
Which one do I get rid of? This one right here? Okay.
Either one.
Oh, you did the defund twice. Okay, I see.
And you gotta
Alright, so
close
that's
one of those. Close one of those closing parentheses too. Oh yeah, get rid of that one underneath. Like wherever what
get rid
line
of
you're
it.
on, go down one. Yeah, delete that one. There you go.
All
Okay, and
right.
then this is a knit.
Okay.
So outside of your module, you're not creating any tables, right? You should be able
No.
to just do parentheses outside of your module. Just do parentheses in it. I
Okay.
think that's should just let you run that. So you can only have that like one time. Um, you don't want to run it.
Yeah, I
You
know.
don't want to run it every time you. Yeah.
I was looking at the Wizards contract last night and saw the section about that, about how it only runs one time.
Yep. So, all right. So amount comes in, amount goes out. I feel like your parentheses might be off a hair. But can
They
you
are.
take this whole function and send it to me in like Discord or something? Or you can't send it in here. Or do you do? I like to throw code in uh my gist. Let me just send you a link.
Okay.
Just pact PA. So this is run pact. Create a gist. Content can be empty. Hi. All right, we'll just use this because it's easy.
Okay. Where are you
Private
sending this
chat.
up?
Private chat.
Private chat? All right.
Yeah.
A GitHub gist.
Oh, can you not edit it though? Can you
I
edit
don't
it?
think I don't see an edit. No.
Can you copy all your code and just leave it as a comment, maybe?
I can just
I
DM
bet
it
you
to you
can.
on Discord if you want. Here we
Whatever.
go.
Should let
There's
you
a comment.
comment that. Perfect.
Did it line it up? It looks like it did, except for the top part.
Dev cap sending. Can you put a new comment with all your code, like your whole contract? I just want to check because I think somewhere in your pay function there might be a missing parentheses too. I do like. I really do like this. I use it a lot. Oh, perfect. All right, now I can. So under init, um, you have the closing bracket.
Okay.
You'll want to be careful of that.
Oh, okay. I won't even let me go down there. I can't even see it.
I'm
It's like
creating
cutting off
a.
the screen.
It's doing something.
You see on
Run that fact.
line 70, like I can't see my cursor down there on line 70. It's almost like it needs to yeah, it just cuts off. That's weird. Anyway, so do I want this? I still want this in parenthesis though. I just want 69 lines. There we go.
Yep. So you don't
Okay.
want any parentheses after init.
None at all.
No, there should be three. So just get rid of that last one.
All right, it's gone.
All right. Now go up to your pay function right above def cap sendy.
Okay, hold on. Looks like there's an error on 69 somehow. Is there a parenthesis there? I'm so confused. It's at there's an error on the last line every time. I can't see all of it.
Just ignore it for now.
All right, whatever. Now what are we doing?
All right. So go to right above def cap sendy and put a space there between the two functions. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you need one more closing bracket or parentheses.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So
Is
now,
that closing the entire function? What I just did?
yep,
The pay function. Okay.
yep. It looks like that. Gov, gov. I'm just checking to make sure everything looks right.
Sorry.
Amount one, amount two, amount three, amount four. Hmm, it might work. Be interesting to see. I would test it on testnet personally. Um, and is there any reason we need to guard that pay function? I don't think so.
In my mind,
Because
that
you're
would just
just,
be so I'm the only one that can call it. But I mean, I'm not even going to be calling it really, right? I'm just going to be sending funds to it.
yep. I don't think you need to do anything. I mean, if somebody wants to pay those guys extra money, they can. Although they're gonna
Right.
call into scope, and then they're gonna hit that they're not Ron, and it's gonna fail anyways.
Right.
So
Okay. Oh wait, I need to make Cindy lowercase, I think.
No, no, that's right.
Even though mine up here are lowercase?
It's different. It's
Okay,
different.
gotcha.
You scoped Sendy into your uh, command. Let's
So these ones down here are supposed to be lowercase too, right?
yeah,
Get
yeah,
Cindy, create principal. Okay, create Cindy guard. Okay, I see what it's doing.
yeah. We're just matching up.
All right, cool.
I mean, I think that's it.
Really?
I think that's it. Just looking.
So,
I don't think there's. Yeah, we should test it.
of course. Now, w- wouldn't we need a transfer create to test it because the people I'm sending to probably don't have tokens on testnet?
You can do transfer create.
Does that require me to do anything else, or I just add transfer
Yep.
create? I just
Oh
add
no,
create
you
to
got to do
this?
more. You got to get their
Uh,
guards too.
well, I mean, we can test it on mainnet with like zero point 0.1 Cadena.
We don't have to. I mean, we can. Hold on. No, let's not do that. Let me. I have 30 minutes. I don't know how much time you have, but I have 30 minutes. I can show. I can show how to test this real quick.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna create a REPL. So ron.REPL, ron.REPL. Let me use this one because I know it works. No, and I create REPL. KDA and V. So I'm not gonna use any of those. So we're just gonna load dot slash KDA and V slash init dot REPL. And then let's create what key did you do you remember crap. Do you remember what key you used for this?
Yeah, it was Ron Key.
Yeah, what do you it
Oh, the
wasn't any of
actual.
these, like the actual key. Can you give me that? That's
Yeah,
just like a test one. It doesn't matter, right? Can you just send
yeah.
that?
Hold on, let me make sure none of this stuff goes away. Keys, copy. Okay. I'm just sending in this public shows tab.
It may not matter. Define. I can just cheat. I can just cheat it. It'd be nice to test to make sure that value comes out, but all right,
Right.
that's cool. All right, so in our REPL, we'll create the data, and then this is going to be Ron key, and then specify your key, and then cred. And this is actually important when you're dealing with a multi-sig. It's very important.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Of course.
so load ron.pact. Okay, it should fail maybe. Let's just see what happens. So terminal pact load ron. uh, REPL, you're so funny. All right. Really?
Do you need to update it?
Did I not just save it? No, I swear I just updated this, right? Oh, that's the wrong place. All right, that's why. I have too many of these environments, Ron.
Yeah,
All right,
that's what it looks like.
namespace. Okay, that's better. So now, okay. Well, this is fun. This is what I hate when this stuff just doesn't work. Um, I have a
Troubleshooting's never fun.
newer. Well, no, and I have a newer one. Let me just move all this to credits. So we'll do run.pact, run. Let's see if this one's just a little happier.
Okay.
All right, and then I need your namespace.
Do you have that? Yeah, you do.
Yep, I got it. All right. Oh, why?
4.7.
Yeah, it should be. I'm curious because do I have like the packed executable in here? I don't know. Packed and then load dot.
Oh my god.
I know, I know, I know. Welcome to
All right, well, I'm gonna be back in like 1 minute. I'm gonna grab a drink.
all right.
But hopefully you have it figured out by then.
It will, I'm sure. Apparently I have a subfolder. Okay. Okay. Ah, cd packed. Force guard.
All right. Any luck yet?
Yeah, getting there. All right, so what is it not happy about now? Enforce. So our namespace is that. We're going to define that key set. So why doesn't it like that again? $61. But that is your guard. Let's try. Okay, so how do I do? I clearly did that wrong. Again, this is this is what I like. All right, init. So we'll just add this to your REPL. Grade false. Oh, really doesn't like that. I think I know why. We need ev dash keys, ev dash sigs maybe. ROM. Is that what it is? I lost my stuff. All right, we're just about there to test this. EMB keys. Okay, so it's not six. And then really
Okay, so where's the key set failure coming from?
line 12. Seems like it should be fine. I don't get it. And I use this. Let me just see if I missed anything. I don't think so. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yep. Indeed. Duh.
There you go.
There we go.
Nice. All right,
Okay.
so what did you just do?
All right. So this basically just loads all the pack stuff you would need. Like if you're on mainnet, it loads all your basic contracts.
Okay.
Pascal put this library together, and usually I usually try to keep it up to date, but um, whatever project I'm working on usually has the newest version, and then I just kind of copy it through. But all that does is just load all the required stuff like name services, coin contract. I load mine with Marmalade, so I've got the NFT stuff to play with, and then that handles the initial install of your environment essentially.
Okay.
And this is just your like if you were creating a function in Java, this would be your JSON in JavaScript. This would be your JSON data. So this is
Yep.
basically just yeah, saying we're not actually upgrading our contract, we're actually deploying it. So this needs to be false. This will never work again once we've run it essentially.
Okay.
Um, So the next time we do this, it'll be true. This
Okay.
is setting our environment to say sign with this key, which in the real world you would do. And that's what I was missing. I brain brain squeezed myself for a
So
second. And so
did you just deploy it?
yeah, your contract in my test environment in REPL, your contract is deployed right now. So you could do like um, get sendy. So this is this. Oops. All right, so now we're using that namespace so we can do get dash sendy. So this is your payment account.
Oh, and there's the U account. Let's go.
Yep, yep, yep. So now you would do pay 10.0
Error. Managed capability not installed.
manage. Well, it couldn't be because it doesn't know about all these accounts. We'd
Okay.
have to use like dummy data, I think, or um, yeah. So like when it's trying to scope these, it physically can't scope this because this account is not known, but this one is, and this amount is. So we can play with that in a minute.
Okay.
So we could just say like let's do this. Let's do test accounts. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. I think that's 6.
Yeah, because one's your key from
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
yeah for deployment purposes.
So in that first one, I'm sending it from myself to my public key.
Your public key is just what governs your contract. That's
Right.
it. It
So
nothing to do with sending.
and the top one, is that me sending it to the contract? Because it just says
Yes.
because it's okay. Gotcha.
Yep. Run to sendy amount.
Okay, gotcha.
So what we're gonna do is where's my use command I just did? This is a very nifty, handy thing. So ron.repl. So now we're going to begin tx test this mother. All right. All
Okay.
right. So we're gonna put that in, and this is going to be you.
Yes.
Oops. So this is your key. So we're gonna use this, and we're simply going to say pay 10.0. Let's see what happens. So now we'll destroy our environment, start over because we can't upgrade our contracts once we deploy them on REPL. Load ron.pact. Didn't I just use this?
Thought so.
Oh, error. We load. Oh, I see. Let's load stuffs.
Load stuffs.
I bet that was it. Perfect. Okay, so we'll need a capability. So env sigs. Let me just copy one because I'm lazy.
All right, so what you're doing right now is simulating the blockchain off chain, right? Because
Yep,
it's in a REPL file.
exactly.
Okay, and so this is the point I haven't gotten to yet, but this is because you have like Pact downloaded on your computer, right? Because I don't have that. I haven't downloaded Pact. I've just been using Chainweaver this entire time.
This is because I have Pact in my computer, yes.
Okay.
Cannot directly evaluate.
Now, did you have to download it with Bootstrap? Because I was reading some stuff last night and it said that's what I had to do.
No,
Okay. What do they have? All right. I was reading a section about how Windows, Mac, and Linux were a bit different.
they are. They are a little bit different, yes.
Okay.
But I think it's just the installer. So like I use Brew on my Mac to install
Okay.
everything.
I have a Mac as well. Um, so I'll look into that because I can't, I don't want to always just be a chain weaver. You know what I mean? I feel like I need to take the step up because I have VS Code. I just never use it.
And I use this on here too. This is actually how I like lining these up. All right. So get sendy. Sendy is a string. Sendy run cannot directly evaluate def cap.
Okay.
Dot transfer from Ron to Sendy amount. Oh, yes. Okay. See, this is why it's so important.
Okay. Here we
Yes.
go.
Yes. 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 We need to install these capabilities. We can't just run them
I
all willy
asked,
nilly here.
yeah, I
You did
asked that
ask me
earlier.
earlier. You did. You did.
Here we go.
And I don't know what I was thinking, but this is. I'm looking at this going, something just doesn't look right. All right. Okay. That's cool. But like, why? 54. Acquire. What's close? What's not correct?
We're getting
Acquire
there.
capability. Yeah. Acquire capability not granted. Why? Acquire Sendy. Acquire Sendy. True. Acquire Sendy. Create Sendy guard. Get Sendy. Create Sendy guard. We know that it got created. We saw it.
Right.
All right. So this is triggering on our payment line. And I wonder, we shouldn't need any other. I don't have any caps, like any special require capability not granted. I'm confused because
You're telling me.
it should just grant itself. And it's there. Man, these are just some insane. When you use these namespaces, it just gets crazy. And
Right.
this value. Oh, okay. Do you know why it doesn't work? Oh, why does this not work? Um,
What did you
I'm
say?
wondering. I said, do you know why this doesn't work?
Um, your guess is better than mine.
Compose capability. Okay. So here, let's try this. So with if dash capability, maybe this will help. There we go. Test
What did
this
you just
mother.
do?
I needed to call Sendy's def cap into scope. It
Okay.
didn't have authority to
Okay.
run these because require is it has to be called from something else. So we need something to say you have access to call require into scope because you can't call this yourself. It has to be called from within the contract from within a higher scope. So this is higher scoped, and it's going to just say grant this
Right.
if it's called. So it's somebody probably has a graceful way of explaining that the inner and outer scopes. There's a whole life lesson on those. Um, but that works. And so here's what we can do in REPL. We know all these accounts have 1,000. So what we can do is this. Let me grab my nifty little function here. Let's see. All right, so after this is done, we have this little nifty function to check. So I would expect you to have 990 because we sent 10. I would
Mm-hmm.
expect our second one to have what, 2.5, right? So this would be, they should all have 2.5. So 1,000, 1,000, 2.5, right? I'm not losing my mind, right? They all get
Wait.
2,000, or if I send in
Yeah, no,
10 KD and I split it 4 ways, they each get,
2.5. Yeah.
yep. So this is a nice way to test to make sure that they all receive that.
Okay.
The other way you can do it, just like normal on chain. Hold on. It's quicker to just rewrite it.
So
Coin
it
dot details.
like a built-in function.
Yeah, yeah. So this is coin dot details. This is just the coin contract I'm calling from my REPL environment. So I'm literally just
Okay.
calling it to say, what's the balance of this account now? And it looks right. 1002.5. So now when we run our REPL, you'll see it's going to validate. Yeah, it's going to validate that your account was debited down to 990. So I
Yep.
can show you. Let's say 991. It's going to throw a hissy fit, I bet. Yep. So you can quickly test to say, did my transfer work as expected? So when you run this code, which I did modify, don't get me wrong, I did change a few things, not a lot,
Right.
but a few things, and I'll send it back to you. Um, when you run this contract now, you will pay these people,
Okay.
and it will go to them if you call everything into scope as expected. So this is it. I mean, this is a nice, easy way to test quickly and see that it's going to work before you deploy. The other thing is, I like to test on testnet. There's also devnet, which simulates testnet and mainnet essentially.
Okay.
And then there's REPL, which REPL does cover this pretty well. If there's a math rounding issue in JavaScript, it may not pick it up in here. So
Okay.
that's the only thing that why I like live testing too, just to make sure. But I mean, if you run this function, you know that the values are going to get split to the right people. If you run run.pact, I
Right.
mean, that's it.
Okay.
And I think we could
So
probably put this. Let me try putting this back to init. Okay,
okay.
cool. So this is it. I don't. I got rid of that for a second because that's not how I create them here. Do you have any other questions on this specifically? But I feel like this is
I feel like we got some
not
shit
a bad.
done. Um, no, it works. Definitely. And it's honestly, I mean, it's pretty much it's not too different from what I had like started on, you know what I mean? So I was on the right track. So I'm kind of proud of myself for that.
Mhm,
Um, and no, it looks good. It's gonna do exactly what we need it to do.
mhm.
And so
I,
this might just be my verbal memory, but we decided that we're not. Are we still sending it to Cindy or like would I sign not sign this? Would I call this and say pay 50, for example? Um, would I call that from my K768 wallet?
you would have to run this through a function. So you'd have to like I would put it on one of your put it on Rundex or something and just have this function and connect your wallet, right, essentially. And what you would do is you would get Sendy to get the address so that you could scope that one transfer cap versus all four of them. You still need to do
Uh,
that. You still need to call them to scope. You could run this from Chainweaver though, if you wanted to.
that's what I'm probably
And
gonna
just
do.
as, yeah. So you just need funds in your Chainweaver wallet.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean that works fine.
Yeah. So because yeah, even though this function is simple, you still need to have this address available to create your own. You need one scoped transfer cap. So
Okay,
one, if you did it in here, so like for you, it's just this, right? You don't
it's just
have
an
that other
amount.
stuff.
Yep, yep.
And then you'd go to sign and you'd add one coin dot transfer from Ron to sent to, and then 10.0, and then obviously sign it. That would be it. You can't do
Okay,
this in, this is tougher to format, so you would just get the U value for it, put it in there, and that's it. So you could create a function, a very simple function, if you can connect your wallet, even inside links, that just handles this for you.
right. Okay, so only thing is I have no idea how to connect packs to a front end.
Yeah.
That's another step on the journey that I need to figure out, but I haven't even scraped the beginning of it.
Um.
Um,
So you got wallet connect and all that stuff.
of
I
course.
mean, to me, it'd be easier to just, if you're going to use links, just to put an app inside links,
Right.
if Fopio lets you.
I
Or
already have one in there.
yeah, so just add your function into that. So If that code's public, I can probably help you with it. Otherwise, I can just probably help you with it. Maybe we can stream that another time or something.
Okay,
But I have all the code for that too. It's just I'm not giving that to you. It's all public. I'm not going to give that to you because it's a little bit more of a beast to unwind and go through.
for sure.
I'd rather
Yeah,
walk you through it than try to watch you waste your time.
yeah, I don't want to get scared away. Um,
And my code's not necessarily noted it's for me. So if I gave it to you, it's not going to be something you're going to just go plug and play. It's
of
to be
course.
fair,
Yeah,
yeah, I can read
no,
it,
I got.
but like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not gonna.
I hear
Here's
you.
the code. Go figure it out. It's not that
Yeah,
simple.
yeah, no. That sounds like me messing around with the KD swap API. Um,
Well,
so all right, cool deal. So if I'm gonna call it from Chainweaver, so do you why how do I say this? Why are the capabilities like that? Like, there's not a way that like you can put it in Pact that says transfer funds from the wallet that I'm signing this with. Like, why in that
you have
capabilities
to
window in Chainweaver?
because we don't want wallet drainers. We don't want people draining your wallet. If you try to like in Ethereum, like it used to be, like you connect to a site, they could just drain you as soon as you sign in, right? Here,
Uh huh.
at least you have to sign your command, do some extra steps. Um, it's just one of those things. Like I feel like the capabilities are one of the strongest security points of Pact. So for
Okay.
me, it makes a lot of sense um, because you have to call them, you could read them, and then cite them. You should always read your caps before you sign when there's money transfer. I doubt most people do, but that's what you should do. And it can
Hmm.
really save you from getting uh, in some trouble.
So in this contract we just wrote, does it say somewhere that it requires that like we put in that capability that you typed in from like the signing window? It might be a
It's
dumb question.
implied.
It's just
It's
okay.
implied. If you're gonna transfer funds, you have to scope that. But we could put a note in there for sure.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, how much time do you have left?
I gotta go get my kiddo.
Okay.
I
So
have
let's jump
negative
off.
5 minutes.
All right, -5. All right, so let's jump off here. I
All
think
right.
we got some stuff done. I had a good time, and I think I'm gonna shoot you some messages, but I think I'm gonna try if you can send me the code before you get off, I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to deploy it on mainnet and do some testing.
Okay. It's in your Discord. I sent you the gist. I updated it.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, man. It's been fun. It's been fun. Appreciate everybody jumping on and sticking it out with us. I'm glad we got it working too. So
Well, hell yeah, and I hope someone in the audience learned something and they'd enjoyed it.
mhm.
So we'll have to do it again sometime.
It's not too scary. Hopefully they learn
Not at
that.
all.
It's not too scary. So, all
No, it could be
right, man.
worse.
It
Take
could
care.
be. All right. You take care. Take it easy, everyone.